Do you want to be rich? Ooh, well, let me tell you, in this video, we're going to be talking about a type of wealth that you have hidden inside of you that you can access anytime you want. It's called conscious wealth, and you get it through spiritual assets, spiritual currency. Now, this is super easy, super simple, and it's going to change the way you look at yourself and the world around you from here on out. Let's get started. All right. My name is Brian Nesline. We are talking about spiritual assets. We're talking about conscious wealth, and we're going to define what that is. We're going to see that we are really rich already. Conscious wealth is the state of mind where you are able to have your words in one hand and your emotions in the other, and you're able to direct them towards what you prefer. This is going to allow you to rise above the day-to-day experiences that happen. You rising above the situations just enough to be able to tell a new story or to shape the story so that you get to buy yourself into a new story, and that's going to be a reflection of what happens in your reality. What I'm saying is that when events occur, you're not going to have to just look at them literally. No. You're going to be able to take a spiritual view of them, which means a metaphorical or symbolic view of them. Yes, you're going to be able to see the day-to-day events as little signs, as little coincidences, as little patterns of your inner life, patterns of a reflection of what you've been thinking about. You're going to find out this blank space, this place that's beyond this world, the thing we call nothingness, is really a spiritual dimension waiting for you to dive in and write your own story right on it. Oh, conscious wealth. This is what it looks like. It looks like the anything is possibleness that is available. Now look, we know that as things happen in our day-to-day life, that we are going to label them as basic things. For example, this is a little tree. It's not a real tree, it's a fake tree, but it is a little tree. And this is a little flower on that tree, and it's a white flower. So I'm just using words to label the things around me in the material world. And this, you could call this a piece of material wealth because it is a physical thing that I own, or is a physical thing that can be owned by someone in the world. You do the same thing like with my shirt or clothes or the bracelet that says pause and get calm on it. These are just things in the world that we are labeling with our words. This is a green shirt. Now look, if we don't like the color green, then we're going to be like, I don't want that. I don't like that shirt. What are we doing there? We are spending an emotional amount of money, an emotional wealth, onto this object. We're saying, I don't like it. We are paying some energy to be able to experience it. Now, notice this is just a shirt that we don't like, but isn't it true, if we look, that we're doing the same type of thing throughout our day accidentally when we complain about the people and the situations around us? Ooh, if we look at someone who's doing something or saying something or being a certain way, and then we're critical or judgmental on it, we are spending that energy, spending our words, we're creating a dark, we're causing ourselves to lower down, and that's troublesome. When a person, place, or thing around us acts in a way that is unacceptable or that is offensive or that we just feel threatened by in some way. Now look, when this happens and we are critical or we are pointing out that behavior as being wrong or as being something that we dislike, kind of like I said about the shirt, when we do that, if we do it with a lot of emotion, like, I hate that, like, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? Ooh, if we spend our emotional currency, our spiritual non-material wealth, our spiritual asset of energy, to pack it into a negative perspective, to judge or to harsh on that behavior, then we are depleting our power. There's no reason to do that, to squander away our emotional or spiritual assets, currency in that way. Now look, it doesn't mean we shouldn't spend our words on these things. If we are witnessing a person, place, or thing that is behaving in a way that is troublesome, we certainly want to let them know. For example, if somebody is stealing something, we want to let them know, hey, it's not okay to steal. Now look, sometimes we have to invest a little bit of our emotional currency to get our point across, but we don't have to do it in a way that causes us to lose our whole big bag of money. No, we want to be able to rise above ourselves so that we can have our words in one hand and our emotions in the other and be able to focus that in a clear way. And that's what conscious wealth is all about, living above and beyond. Now let me show you how we can expand that ability to be more spiritually awake or consciously present during tough mental and emotional occurrences that spontaneously happen in the circumstances of our day. We could do it different. I'll show you right now how. We could go up into our spiritual space. We could say, yeah, I don't like green, but I'm not going to bother with spending any emotional energy on that. Let me go use my spiritual currency. What is it about green that I want to magnify in the spiritual connections that I have? Oh, I know. This is green. Green is like the spiritual heart chakra. And it's blossoming. My spiritual story is rewritable, is expandable when I live as a spiritual heart chakra in the world. Now what's going on when I'm like, That's me collecting money, collecting spiritual wealth, collecting energy that I can store in here, in my spiritual body, in my conscious space. I become more aware, more awake when I make new associations with the things around me. So look, having spiritual assets is really just collecting or mining emotional energy by renewing our mind, meaning by looking at things around us in new ways, by looking at them as nothing at all. We are looking at them as symbols, as placeholders, as non-material experiences. And when we do that, we forget that it's a crappy green shirt. We forget that it's a fake plant. These things are all going to burn or be in some kind of a landfill someday. How bummer that is to focus on that. Instead, we're going to be like green heart chakra blossom. We're going to expand our conscious wealth, our emotional energy, our vitality, our vibration. That's all going to raise. We are doing what is called building spiritual assets. All right, so look, surrender to the wisdom of your body. All right, perfect. So look, all around us is all of these material things. Now our body, our physical body, is a little more than just our nose and our ears and our personal belongings. It extends out further. Think about this. Think about your body as being beyond the little physical makeup that you are. Think about it as all of the set of circumstances that you are incorporating or witnessing throughout your day. The wisdom of your body. So all of these events, all of these storylines, green shirts or people behaving in a way that are stealing or whatever everyone is doing or not doing around you, these storylines in the world, they are part of your body of information. And we want to surrender to the wisdom of our body, meaning we want to dive in and mine out of them the spiritual interpretation, the metaphorical interpretation, that spiritual view, so that we are putting our passion and our energy, our our focus, our joyful light, our expansion in the interpretation of our surroundings in a new way by making those new associations. And in that way, our whole body of circumstances is filled with wisdom, just waiting for us to pluck and put into our spiritual bank account. And when we do that, when we renew our mind by looking at our physical world around us, our circumstances, in new ways, then we expand that conscious wealth space of spiritual ability to see in new ways, to feel beyond this world, and that helps us to rise above the day-to-day ouchies that occur in the literal story of our personal lives. Why not just change the body around us by looking at it in a new way? That's what we're doing with our language, our words. We have the divine masculine in us as a spiritual being. That is our words. And we have the divine feminine, that is the emotional light. And we're able to interact with those two as we face this world and surrender to the wisdom that comes through us feeling a certain way. We're going to be able to go up really high. We're going to be able to find out that this spiritual story is like the sun. We're traveling up to it. It's infinite. That's what the number 8's there for. It's in the red root chakra diamond because red is a symbol of an expansion of the material world. And in this case, it's a spiritual expansion. We're traveling up to the light. That's going to lead to more energy, just like the sun has energy. That's going to lead to more of able to rise above. As you can see, the traveler is risen above onto the top of the plateau of this mountain ridge, going right up there above their day-to-day life problems, above the day-to-day circumstances that are happening. So we're really traveling to a new dimension, a new world, above duality. Look, you can see that the clouds and the black road here represent duality, the white and the black, the dark and the light. That's us rising up above it, right on that ridge line, that plateau, because we have raised ourselves up to a spiritual dimension. We were using our words to define the things around us in new ways, in spiritual ways. So that's going to generate a lot of high vibration, a lot of conscious wealth, a lot of spiritual assets. Then you can use that to face other things throughout your day. You can use that energy, one, to get guidance, to get inspired guidance, because you're going to have this big space of worry-free, happy joy land up here. And that's going to allow the guidance to just trickle in as intuitive thoughts or ideas. Plus, you're also going to be able to get guidance on the little situations that happen throughout the day. You won't stumble so much on them. You'll just intuitively know how to handle a situation, which maybe in the past would have been stupefying. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about spiritual assets. We're talking about generating that emotional vibration by using our words to define things or describe things in a symbolic or a metaphorical way. And as you continue to do that, you're going to grow as that green heart chakra, we see her representing in the world. You're going to be bringing the light of the world down. You're going to be bringing that sunshine. You can see it right behind her now. You're going to be bringing that sunshine into this world. And you're going to be using the light blue. What's all that? That light blue is the throat chakra of our words, communicating about it. So we really do have a lot of control over our well-being, over our emotional and mental well-being. The Bible says it when it says, don't be conformed to the world that you're seeing around you as like green shirts and fake plants. No. Be renewed, transformed, be uplifted, be shaped by the renewing of your mind, by the renewing of the way you look and describe things. Find a spiritual interpretation for them. It may look like nothing, may look like nothingness to others, but you're going to feel all of that spiritual asset building in the bank account of your conscious wealth. And your awareness is going to grow, your spiritual awareness, your spiritually awakened space is going to grow. And you're just going to continue to get better and better at this diamond of duality that we're all walking around in. Before you know it, you may feel like you've been left as an orphan in this world, but not anymore. You've got this flower that you can reach to in duality, this new material world of spiritual assets that are expanding and allowing you to overcome everything. Yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this. Let's pull one little last card on our way out of this reading. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. There's going to be more and more on my channel about these types of things. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Make me one of your spiritual friends. Look at me as a symbol or a metaphor or a spiritual helper that doesn't exist as a real person, but more exists as a spiritual expression in the world to bring you to bring you those types of experiences, reminding you that you can use your faith space to shift and change your identity and your reality. And faith is simply the assurance, the asset, the wealth of what we're hoping for. It is the substance of what we haven't seen come to pass yet, but will. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive. Follow your guidance. It says. Enjoy this green heart chakra rise as you go through this incredibly creative world that we are all planted in. Take care. A goodbye. Have fun. See you tomorrow.